Hi, dear ones. How you doing? I'm doing great. Well, I think. So, I got a few minutes to make a quick video. So, this topic's going to be on saving some money. And I want to talk about internet service. Okay, I used to pay like around $100 a month. And that was no TV or nothing. I mean, that was just internet and Wi-Fi. And they had talked me into, like upgrading. And I think I had 300 at the time. I was still paying too much then. Uh, but I do get, like this discount. It's a low income discount. I love those discounts. But anyway, the what happened is I thought, man, this. Well, they had raised it, you know, up. It went up. So I called them and I said I want to find a way to bring down my internet costs. It's just getting too high. And I got a cat that likes expensive cat food. Yeah, he does. That's the only thing he'll eat. He's breaking me. I'm talking close to, I hate to say it, almost 200 a month just for the cat. uh, but I guess he's worth it. And it is a real, healthy food. Doesn't have no junk in it or anything. It's it's a good quality. Anyway, the so I called him up and uh, so because I didn't need that much gigabytes. No way. So I said I want to bring my cost down. So then he named this what I had before, which was 300 and 300 megabytes. Uh, Not 100 gigabyte, but 100, 1,000. It was 1,000 megabytes per second. So I had been 300, and so I said. So he told me what the price was, and it wasn't that much lower. It wasn't as low as what I wanted to pay. So I said, well, what else do you have? Do you have anything lower than that? He didn't want to tell me, I could tell. But he said, yeah, we have 100 megabytes per second. I said, well, how much is that? And he said, well, that's, 60 a month. And, but then you qualify for, $10 discount. And I said, now, does that include everything? Taxes, fees, the whole 9 yards, whatever, charges. And he said, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, wow, $50 a month. That's much better. I said, he said, well, how do you use your internet? And I said, well, I stream. I said, I usually have two TVs going. One of them I'm streaming on, watching movies or YouTube or, whatever. And the other one, I usually use for shopping, reading articles, doing research, looking stuff up, uh, just stuff like that. I'm not streaming on normally two at a time. Uh, so he said, well, I don't know if that, be enough. And I said, well, maybe not. And maybe it will. I said, the only way I'll know is if I try it. I said, okay, put me down to 100 megabytes per second, and I'll see what happens. And if that's not enough, then I'll have to call back and, go up. So that's what happened. And by George, it's plenty enough. I mean, I can have two TVs running. In fact, just before I started this video, I had this one monitor running on this computer, and over on the other one, I have YouTube playing, and with with the sound off, but letting the video run, so that my friends can get views. People that I watch, and that I like to help them out, and I might not, if I'm doing something and I can't watch it anyway, I go ahead and let it play. At least to get the views, and then later I can go back in history and then watch it. But so I mean, I could run YouTube on two TVs at once, and I still have plenty of juice. There's no lag. There's no problem. And plus, I got and the Wi-Fi. So like on this computer, I'm using Wi-Fi, and then on the other one, it's hooked up direct to the Ethernet. So voila. Sometimes because they don't want to lose you as a customer. I've been a customer with that company for like 13 years. And at one time it had a different name. It was like Charterhouse. And then I think Spectrum bought them out, or they combined or something. And so now it's called Spectrum. But I guess I'm allowed to say the name. No, I'm not an affiliate or anything. So, but I like the company. I mean, they've always, if there's ever a problem, I mean, they're Johnny on the spot. I mean, uh, they just take care of it. The equipment, is free, and comes with your service. And anything goes wrong with it, you can swap it out for nothing. And they'll either send a service man, or they can ship it to you, and you can hook it up. If you know how to hook it up yourself, which I do, because one time I had to unplug everything and all the internet and everything, and because I rearranged the furniture. I got some different stuff for my TVs to sit on and my computers and stuff. So when I put them together, I put them on the other side of the room, over where the internet connection is, so I didn't have to run these big long lines the way I had it set up before. And so anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. If you're paying too much, call them up. See what kind of other deals they got. What other, maybe you're paying for, speeds that you don't really need. Because the 100 megabytes per second is working for me. and I'm a heavy more than average user. The way I mean, like I said, I can have two TVs going at one time, and it's there's no lag, there's no nothing. And since they worked on the outside, and because there was an issue out there, there was dropping, but since they worked on all that, and got that straightened out, now everything's fine. So, no, haven't had any drop-offs lately. So, it's a good thing. So I hope everybody's doing good. I like to save money, and if I can help somebody else save money, I'm more than willing to do that. So I don't know if I'll have any other tips or tricks or anything about stuff like that. I think I gave some on some other stuff in another video. You'd have to find it. I don't know which one it's in. Sometimes I can't even remember what topics I've already, done. Sometimes I have to go home and say, well, what I put in this one. So, you might just have to listen to me, repeat myself. But that's okay because everybody's not going to see every single video. And there's, future people, and hopefully when I have whole bunches of videos, and maybe, hopefully, more watchers and viewers and subscribers, and people sharing, and stuff like that, then but people don't usually, I don't think, stay with you forever. They'll kind of watch you for a while and then move on to something else. That's normal. And I mean, half the subscribers I got right now are from those aquariums that where they've subscribed 17 years ago. you know, I'm sure they're not watching. And plus, my channel name has changed since then. I think it was called Truth Seeker. I'm not for sure because that was a long time ago. So anyway, oh, I'm making some chicken soup. Yeah, I got it going, and I haven't put the chicken in yet. But right now I'm cooking, the onions, and the celery, and the mushrooms, and the carrots, and then once that gets good, then I'll put the chicken, put some peas in there, and a little bit of egg noodle. I know that egg noodle, it's got some, carbs and everything, but there's not that much, to a bowl because I put mostly chicken and veggies. And I thought it'd be good to have some soup in case, something happens and I end up. So what I do is, I'll eat a couple bowls of because I'm making a great big, pot like they have restaurant, big pot. And then I'll freeze some up and then have them. So, well, I better get off of here because it's steaming in there. I got turned up to bring the um, chicken broth, to a boil, and I need to turn it back down. So you all take care. Love you. Hugs. And have a good one. I'll see you again. Bye-bye. Subscribe and like. Thank you. Thanks for watching.